Hello students and welcome back to BankExamsToday.com. So today we are going to do the types of mutual funds. It's a really short video. I'm not going to take much of your time. जल्दी करेंगे. There are three types of funds. तीन types of funds हैं: open-ended, close-ended and interval funds, right? The normal funds, right? जो आप day to day life में purchase करते हैं, sell करते हैं, those are open-ended funds. What happens in open-ended funds? Open-ended funds are open for investors to enter or exit at any time. What happens in an open-ended fund? आप कभी भी सेल और परचेज कर सकते हो अपने यूनिट्स को, राइट? बट इसमें एग्जिट लोड होता है. देयर इज एन एग्जिट लोड हेयर. Normally it is 1% up to if you sell your units within 1 year or 365 days of purchase, right? So open-ended funds, they are always open. You can you can purchase the units anytime, you can sell the units anytime. In close-ended, it is not open. Up NFO के time पे you can purchase, but they are redeemable after a specific time, right? There is no specific time frame when it is closed, so you buy it and you can sell it anytime, right? And it's NAV. किस रेट पे आप सेल करोगे? It's on the basis of its NAV, which is determined every day. Every day its net asset value is determined, and आप इसी रेट पे इसको सेल करोगे back to the AMC from where you are purchasing the units from AMC. You are purchasing from AMC and you are selling to the AMC, right? No stock exchanges involved. In the open-ended funds, stock exchanges are not involved. You are buying the units from AMC and you are selling the units to the AMCs only. Distributors are there in between you and AMC, but finally you are dealing with the AMC, right? This is the open-ended fund. Common examples are Kotak multi-cap, Kotak standard multi-cap fund, Reliance large cap, Reliance small cap. Lot of funds are there, right? Now, what are close-ended funds? So close-ended funds, they have fixed maturity. When you can buy them, at the time of new fund offering. At the time of NFO, you can buy them and you can redeem them only at the end of the period mentioned on the offer documents, right? So you cannot redeem them before the maturity, right? They have a fixed maturity. The close-ended funds, they have a fixed maturity. You cannot buy or sell them any point of time to AMC. But these close-ended funds, they are listed on stock exchanges, and you can go to the stock exchange and then sell them. Of course, if you go to that stock exchange, there will be a gap between the demand and supply. So the selling price won't be equal. Most of the time, selling price won't be equal to the NAV. Most of the times you need to sell it at a discount, right? So you need to sell it at a lower price than NAV, right? So there is a problem of liquidity. It is not that liquid, right? So listing is compulsory for for close-ended funds. Listing on the stock exchanges. Listing on stock exchanges is compulsory. You cannot take your money out of the fund before a set maturity, but you can sell it in a stock exchange, right? I mean, fixed maturity means, suppose you bought it from AMC, like Reliance is an AMC, there is an Aditya Birla is an AMC, Kotak is an AMC. You buy the mutual fund unit from AMC at the time of NFO. You can only buy at the time of NFO, right? But you cannot sell, you cannot redeem it before the maturity date. Maturity date is normally 3 year or 4 year. Whatever the maturity date is, you need to you're going to get your money back at the time of maturity. But if you want the money, if you need money now, you need to go to the stock exchange and you need to find a buyer, which is usually really difficult, right? Now there is a third kind of fund, which is an interval fund. So interval fund, I would say interval fund is having benefits of both open-ended funds and closed-ended fund, right? You cannot sell it at any point of time, but there are windows, right? There are transaction windows. They are known as transaction period. There is transaction period during which you can buy or sell your units, right? So it combines the benefits of open-ended and closed-ended schemes. For instance, in an interval scheme, let's say the maturity period is let's say 1 year or 2 year. Every 1st to 15th of Jan and 1st to 15th of July, you can redeem your units, right? You can redeem it and you can take your money out. So twice a year in this particular example, you can actually sell your units. So that's known as an interval fund. And the period during which you can transact is known as a transaction period. The interval when this fund becomes an open-ended fund, this is known as a transaction period. And the interval between the two transaction period is known as the interval period, right? So between this 15th of Jan to 1st of July, this period is interval period. Jan 1st to Jan 15 and July 1st to July 15, this is transaction period. So transaction period and interval period really important, and this question is really important, repeated in the exams. Minimum duration of the transaction period is 2 days and the minimum duration for the interval period is 15 days. Really important. For transaction period, minimum duration 2 days. For interval period, minimum duration is 15 days. So no redemption is allowed except this transaction period. After the transaction period, it is not allowed. You need to wait for the transaction period. So interval fund is having benefits of both closed-ended funds and the open-ended funds, right? So important question, little difficult, but now I have already told you, now it's easy for you. So the period when an interval scheme becomes open-ended are called transaction period. So the period between the close of a transaction period and the opening of next transaction period is called interval period. What is the minimum duration of an interval period? I already told you it is 15 days. 2 days for transaction period and 15 days for interval period. That's the answer, students. So students, I request all of you to subscribe the Bank Exams Today channel, and important books for NISM 5A, RBI Grade B. I'm listing all the books in the description, and I recommend all the students to install Bank Exams Today mobile app. I recommend all of you to install Bank Exams Today mobile app from Google Play. There you can buy the courses, take the test series and download the free notes. So that's all for today, students. Thank you and have a very nice day.